everybody. Hope you're doing well. Welcome to week 3 of online learning from church. Hope you're enjoying these videos. We'll just kind of keep rolling with it and make the best of it as we can. Hopefully you had a good Palm Sunday. This week is Holy Week, and it starts with Palm Sunday and ends with Easter, but there's a lot of stuff going on in between. It's a really kind of it's pretty much our church's biggest week of the year. And so when you think about that, and I talk a little bit about that in the blog this week, think about ways that you can kind of make Easter special this year, or make Good Friday memorable, or Maundy, Thursday, how you can engage. In fact, our church is doing a Maundy, Thursday service, as well as Good Friday and Easter Sunday. So you can find all 3 of those on our website, and you can view those on those days. And so I'd encourage you to kind of jump into this week. It's spring break, so you shouldn't have much schoolwork, and really just kind of think about the Easter season and what it means to you. This week, I write in my blog about the book of John. We're looking at different books of the Bible that we might not know. John obviously is one of the 4 Gospels. We know John and we know the stories of John pretty well, but being Easter and being Holy Week, I wanted to kind of highlight one of the Gospels. That's kind of why, the stories of Jesus happen in the Gospels. And so looking at John, it's a little bit, and you'll read about this, it's a little bit different than the other Gospels. I kind of think of it like this. John is heaven come down. So John right away tells us who Jesus is. And he says, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He tells us right away that this story is about Jesus. Where the other 3 Gospels, if you're reading them for the first time, you didn't know anything about Jesus, you wouldn't really know right away that you were reading a story about the Son of God. It would be more slowly revealed to you. So there's some other differences between John and the other Gospels, but that's kind of one of the bigger ones. And I talk about that, but John has kind of even puts it in his Gospel, the purpose for writing this book, for writing this story. And he says this in chapter 20. He says, this is his reason for writing the Gospel. That you may believe that Jesus is the Messiah, the Son of God, and that by believing you may have life in his name. That's John 20, verse 31. And I talk about that. What does that mean for us in this kind of strange season of life, that we may believe and have life in Christ's name? So what does life, having life, look like for you? And how do we incorporate that into this week? So read the blog, check that out, and kind of introduce the book of John to you. The movie this week is a movie called Stranger Than Fiction. It's a few years back. It's a Will Ferrell movie, but it's not the typical Will Ferrell that you think about. I think he's an IRS clerk or an accountant that works for the IRS, and he has a pretty boring life. Okay, he's kind of by the book, buttoned down, doesn't have a lot going on, and he starts to hear this voice, and this voice is like a narrator telling his life, and it's kind of this odd thing, because this author who's writing a book in the same reality that he is writing his story as it happens. And so as the movie goes on, I want you guys to kind of look for and think about, his name is Harold Crick in the movie, and the author's name is Karen. And so who is in charge, or who is making decisions to be in control of Harold's life? Is Harold in control of his life, or is the author Karen in control of his life? Or is it a combination? Like, who's predicting what will happen to him? Who's making, decisions that affect his everyday life? I think we think a lot about that when we think about ourselves and God. Is God in control of my life? Am I in control of my life? Is it some sort of combination? So be looking for that in the movie, and just kind of think about who is in control of Harold's life, and then also think who's in control of my life. So that's it for this week. Hope to see you guys soon. We're still doing our Thursday 8 p.m. Zoom meetings, so look for in your inbox or text for me for that. Hope you have a good week.